Hello and welcome to Sketch Together. My name is Pablo Stanley, and today we're going to be talking about a prototyping tool that I use a lot. It's called Marble App. And I've been using this tool for around 3 years. Marble is a great prototyping tool to show simple static prototypes. You want to show a flow between different screens, like how the interactions work, and probably if you want to even test with different users, this is a great tool for that. Today I'm going to show you how it works, and we're going to create a prototype and we're going to test it on a phone. And that's it. Let's get to it. The first thing you want to do is create an account at marbleapp.com and also download their Sketch plugin. So to download the Sketch plugin, you go to marbleapp.com/sketch and you'll be able to download it there and then install it. Once it's installed, you'll be able to see it here on the top as one of these tabs, and also you'll be able to see it on Sketch. On Sketch, it appears as here on your layers list, where your layers list are. You will see the tools for playing, for syncing, and all of that, and also its own menu over here. Okay, so before we start actually doing something, let me show you the prototype that we're going to create today. So this is the prototype that I already have. This is where I edit my prototype, where I add all the hot links and I connect different screens. And I change all the settings. And this is how it looks at the end. So at the end, you get a link with your prototype, which you can see on the web, and also you can see it on your phone. And this is a mobile app prototype, but you can also create web prototypes. It's for web applications or for websites. So here I can just start playing with it. I can use different gestures. I'm seeing a walkthrough of an onboarding, and then I say login, and I have this screen, see the animation that happened. I do a fade in animation, then a flip animation. This is a timed animation that takes me to the next screen. And here I have scrollable areas and fixed header and a fixed footer. And I also have different links that connect to different screens, and I have a menu, and I even have a menu that comes from the left, and pretty cool stuff. Another cool feature from the Marble prototype tool is that you can play with the prototype right here on Sketch. So here with the play button, you just press it, and then once you are finished with your prototype, you can actually open the window and see how it's going to look. So here I have my prototype, and then I can log in. I see all the different interactions are here. And the cool thing too is that you can record a video. So if I wanted to record, I'm going to record a video. I'm going to use my prototype. Everything's going well. And then when I'm finished, I press stop. And then I can save the recording as a video and then send it to anyone that needs to see the prototype and probably cannot play with it. Pretty cool stuff. I really love this feature. That way it allows me to just play with the prototype right here and just iterate and just like change anything and sync it to my prototype and see the changes happen right here on the window. So we're going to learn how to create all of this. So you want to download the sketch file that it's on the description. The sketch file on the description will have all of this. We'll have different pages. You have the onboarding page. Let me zoom out so you can see it. And also the tabs, the navigation, all the actions are there too. And also something that you're allowed to do on Marble is add an icon for, if it's a mobile app, you can add an icon. And that way, when you test it on your prototype, you have an icon on your prototype. Okay, so we have the onboarding screen. Let me show you what's here. So here we have all the screens that take you on the walkthrough, just like all the different features of this app. By the way, the app that we're going to be creating is it's for where I work at, the startup where I work at. It's called Carbon. It's Carbon Health. And these are some of the explorations that we have tried. So I'm just sharing those files with you so you can play around with them. The only font that you're going to be needing is the SF Apple font. So here we have all the screens of the walkthrough, and then we have a login, two screens for the login, and just entering the password, and then also a success screen that tells you welcome back. And the welcome back, there's no interaction, so this screen will need to be a timed transition, the time screen. And then we have another page with all the tabs. So all the tabs, let me zoom in so you can see. The tabs here, as you can see, this is a longer screen. and it has a fixed footer and a fixed header. So we're going to learn how to create those fixed headers, and so we can create a scrollable area in the middle of the screen. And then we have another tab. You can see here that this is active, and then we have an actions screen that will be triggered when we press on the middle button. And then we have another scrollable area, which is the prescriptions. And then here we have two screens that both of them have tabs on the top, and we're going to learn how to do that, and then how to link between those screens. And then also we have a menu that comes from the left, which is the account with all the settings and all that stuff. And now I can select if I want to sync all selected artboards or if I want to sync all of the artboards. So I'm going to go ahead and sync all. And right now, it opens a window and it has a drop down with the list of all the projects that you have already created. If you haven't already created a project, you're going to have this in blank. So if I see this, I'm going to see all the different projects that I actually worked on in the past. So there's a lot of projects. And I'm going to create a new one. And to create a new one, you just start typing a different name. So I'm going to sketch together, prototype, carbon. I'm going to call it that. And then the size, I designed it 1x, but I want to export it at 2x. So I'm going to select 2x because it's the density of an iPhone 7. The prototype that we're doing is for an iPhone 7. So I'm going to send or upload, and it's all of them. And a cool animation happens there, and it's uploading all the artboards. Pretty cool stuff, right? I really love these animations. And okay, once that's ready, you can move around that if it's bothering you there. And then over here, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do the same with all of these windows. It finished uploading the other screens. Now I'm going to do the same for this. I'm going to sync all of them. The same prototype. It already selects the last prototype that I was working with. I'm going to send or upload. Okay, so it's finished uploading. I'm going to go to marble.com now, and I'm going to go to my projects here. And I see here all of my projects. Probably you're not going to see a lot of projects in your list, because these are a lot of projects that I've been working on. So you're going to see your new project here, and then you just select View Project. And then here you're going to see all the screens that you imported. So it's taking a little bit, and there you go. So all the screens are here. It's pretty cool, and some of them are not arranged in the order that I wanted them to be. So I can just like drag and drop them. So before I do that, I want to change the settings of it so it knows that this project is an iPhone project and not a web project. So here on the settings, instead of a website, I want to change it to an iPhone 7. Change it to an iPhone 7, and that's it. And now that it's an iPhone 7, as you can see, the screens are a little bit taller, and now I can see the actual contents of it. So I'm going to rearrange all the screens because they're not in the actual order that I wanted it to be. So I'm going to put this all the way to the front. This is the second one, screen 2. Now that all my screens are arranged in the correct way, I can start adding links. I could have started adding links from the beginning, but I just wanted to have it all pretty well organized. That way I know which screen is next when I add a link. So to add links, you just hover over any other screens and you just click edit, and then here you can zoom in and zoom out. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, zoom out a little bit, just so we can see, and then I can just start dragging and dropping a link wherever I want. So this link is going to be done with a hotspot. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to add interaction that takes me to the next screen. So I'm going to, just by dragging a square there, then I get this window that tells me where do you want this hotspot to take you and what kind of action do you want it to be. So for this one, I'm going to keep it as a click. You can also change it to, first you have to select where the destination is. So I'm going to select the next screen, and then the transition, I want it to be a fade screen. And the action, you can make it a swipe left, and that way on your phone, when you test it on your phone, you'll be able to swipe. So I'm going to close it, and then I'm going to add another one here. This one is going to take me to the next one, and I'm going to do the same. Swipe left, close, and the next one is the same. Takes me to the next one, swipe left. Oh, I didn't add the transition, so you want the transition to be fade. Let me go back to the previous one, and I can do this by just the left and right arrow keys. So I'm going to go to the previous one, I'm going to click on it, and then say that the transition is going to be fade, the animation. Then I'm going to add another one. This one is going to take me to the last tab and to the last point, and swipe left too, and that's it. Let me And then this last one is, I'm going to make it that it loops to the first one. So I'm just going to make it that it goes to the first one. The transition is also fade and swipe left. There you go. And now I want to add another action that is going to take me to this screen, the login screen. And it's going to be here, right? So I'm going to do a big hotspot here on the login. I'm going to scroll down here. And then the destination is going to be here. And the transition is going to be push left, not fade. That way it looks like the screen appeared. And I'm going to keep the action as in click or tap. And then, since this action is duplicated over here, it's in all of these screens. Instead of adding the same interaction in all of them, I can just hover over it and say duplicate. Duplicate, and then just select the screens where you want this action to be duplicated. So I'm going to select all of my walkthrough screens. I'm going to confirm on 5 screens. Perfect. And now if I go through my screens, you will see that that same action is always there. Now I'm here on the login screen. I'm going to add a big action here on my keyboard, and it's going to take me to the next screen where I have all my input is already done. And I'm going to put fade. I'm going to keep it as a click or tap. I'm going to go to the next one, and then here my information is already put, so I can add a final interaction that logs in. And I'm going to put this one, screen transition. Let's do a cool transition. We can do pop, or we can do flip, or you can do push left. I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to put flip. You can do whatever you want there. And I'm going to add another one that takes me back. This one is going to take me back to the previous, it should actually take me back to this screen. There you go. And I'm going to duplicate it. So it also is also here. So this is the back button. So this back button, let me duplicate it, sorry. Confirm on 2 screens, and now it's also here. Pretty cool, right? And now over here, there's no interaction, right? There's no button or anything. You just want this screen, that's the sex screen, to appear and then fade out automatically. So for that, you use the timer interaction. So here on the top left, you'll see timer. And then here you can say how long do you want this screen to appear. So I'm going to say after 2 seconds, I want it to move to the home screen. So there you go, to the home screen, and the transition is going to be push left. That's it. We're ready. And should we test it? Let's test what we have already. I'm going to click done, and I'm going to press play over here. By pressing play, now it opens a new window where I can start testing my prototype. It even puts, if it's an iPhone or an Android, it will put a device around it. So here I'm going to test my fade in. There you go. I have all my walkthrough. It loops back. And now I'm going to click on login. By the way, if you click outside or tap outside of anywhere where there is no tappable area, it will give you this this feedback telling you where are the tappable areas, just so you know what's happening there. Okay, I log in, I'm here, I click on the keyboard, now I'm ready to log in, and then 1, 2, boom, it goes automatically to this screen. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so we're ready there. Now let's just keep editing the next screen. So I'm going to go back over here to tab cases. And then on this one, the screen is really long. So you want to have a scrollable area in the middle. And to do that, you want to add fixed headers. So over here, I can start moving around this. I can start moving it down and around there, 120. It should actually be 129. So you can actually type it in. I'm going to type it in. 129, and then over here, let me zoom in, it should be around there. I think it's, actually I'm going to check my actual design because I want to know what it is, what the size of this is. This is 49, the height is 49, so it should be 94, no, 98. So I'm going to change it here to 98, perfect. So I have it here, let me press play so we can see how it looks. I'm going to press play here, and it just opens that screen. So, and I can see, as you can see, the tab navigation here on the bottom is fixed, and also the thing on the top is also fixed. Something that I'm realizing is that I want this header to be a little bit translucid. So what I can do is I'm going to go back to my sketch file, and here in my sketch file, I'm going to go back to this screen, and I'm going to change this so it's a little bit more translucid. So instead of the opacity of 90%, I'm going to change it to 95%. There you go, 95%, and now I want to update it on Sketch. The cool thing is that I can just sync this specific screen. So I'm going to select this artboard, and I'm going to click here on this marble menu, Sync Selected. So sync selected, same project. I say send or upload. It's uploading, pretty cool. Okay, now it's updated. Now I can go back to my prototype, and here in my prototype, it automatically updated, and you see now that it's a little bit translucid. So here in my prototype automatically updated, and that way, if I make any changes on my sketch file, I can super quickly just sync it to my prototype on Marble. Look at that, and now it's translucid. Pretty cool stuff, right? So now I want to start adding interactions. So I have my fixed header, I have my fixed footer. So I want to add one more interaction. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I want to add one interaction, actually not there, but here. This one should take me to the next screen, which is appointments. And I'm going to do the screen transition to be fade. And now I want to do another one that takes me to the big menu. I'm going to do the transition of this one is going to be slide up. And then for this one, the prescriptions one is going to take me to the prescriptions tab. This transition is going to be fade. And you have to do the same for all of these tabs. So since the heights on these tabs are different, you cannot really duplicate these actions. So sorry about that. You actually have to do it on each screen. So you're going to see me doing this. I'm going to speed up on the next ones because you already know how to do this. So I'm going to go over here. Okay, so I finished adding all the different interactions to all of my tabs. So let me just go through all of them. So all of these over here, all the interactions. I also changed the fixed header and the fixed footer of this, fixed header and fixed footer, and I add all the interactions. And over here, the same. This one doesn't need a fixed header and fixed footer because it's the size already of the screen. Now, I have a couple of interactions more that I need to add. So for this menu, all I have is, we're not going to do any of the actions here, but we have a big X button that closes this menu. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a big interaction here. And this one, instead of selecting a screen, I want it to be linked to last visited. That way it will close and it will go to the last tab where I was. So link to last visited. And then I'm going to go to the last one. And then here on the last one, I'm going to, these two last ones, I want to add another interaction here on the top. And this one will take me to this other screen. And then the screen transition will be fade. Perfect. And then over here, I'm going to do the same. That takes me back to the other screen. Screen transition is going to be fade. And that's it. And now another thing that I want to do is add a menu, an account menu. So I'm going to go over here on the top where the photo is, and I'm going to select the last screen. And the transition, I'm going to put it push right. So it comes from the right, a menu comes from the right. So I'm going to duplicate this one actually. And I want to also have it on this one because it's the same menu. Confirm the two screens. And over here, I want to add a big action. I'm going to drag around here. Oops, I'm not able to drag. There you go. This one, and this one is also going to link to last visited. That way it will take me to whatever the tab that I opened it from. There you go. Let me make it a little bit bigger. There you go. We're pretty much ready, I think. Let's go and see our prototype. So now, once you're ready to test it, you can just press play. Press play, opens a new tab. And then, there you go. I have all my screens here on my walkthrough, and now I can log in from any of these screens because this action is duplicated. And now I can click here on the keyboard, I can say login, then it takes 2 seconds, and after 2 seconds, it goes automatically to the next screen. Something happened there, and what happened there is that since this screen has a transparency, it blends in together. So what we can do is just change the transition of that one. So instead of the transition instead of being pushed left, I'm going to be slide left. That way, there's no blending of those two screens. So let's play it. And now it's there, and then now it slides, and now there's no blending between the screens. Perfect. So now here this area is scrollable. I can go to this tab. This is not scrollable because it's not a scrollable area. I can go to this one, and then I can close it, and it takes me back to whatever the last screen where I was. This one is scrollable. This one is scrollable too, and I go to another tab, and I go to the different tab, and I can open the menu. There you go. Look at that. That's so cool, right? Okay, so we're ready to share our prototype. But before doing that, we want to add an app icon to our prototype. So here, you want to click here where it says app icon, And then I'm going to go to my desktop. I already have an icon here, which is the size of an icon on iOS. And I'm going to put it here, and now I have it there. And now I can start sharing it. So now I'm ready to share. I'm going to click on share. And then here on the sharing, you have the ability to use a URL or email and SMS. And also you can even embed your prototype on any website just by clicking, copying this code. And also you can do user tests. So let's copy the URL. I copy the URL, I can go over here, I just paste the URL, and you can open it in any browser, and you'll be able to see the prototype there. You can just play around with it, you can send it to your friends or any stakeholders or any users that you want them to test your prototype. And also the cool thing is you can also send it via SMS. So here I have SMS and I want to put my phone number. I'm going to put my phone number, and then I'm sending an SMS. SMS was sent, and then here on my phone, text message. There you go. Now I got a text message, and then here on the text message, I have a link to the prototype, and I'm going to change the camera so we can actually see this. Okay, so I got a new text message. I'm going to open that, and then I have here, I got a link to the prototype, so I'm just going to open it, and then it will have this window that tells me like, hey, do you want to install this as a prototype? So what you do here is you click the share button, and then here you want to add to home screen. You want to click on add to home screen, and that way it will be added as a prototype, as an app. You can change the name of it. I'm going to keep it the same, add it, and then automatically it gets added there. And the cool thing about it is that it gets added with the icon that we put there. Look at that. It's pretty cool, right? So I'm going to open it. There you go. And there you go. Now I have the prototype and I can start testing it. I can start swiping through all the different things, and then I can log in and I can start typing. Da, 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 da. Look at that. So cool, right? This one is here. Let me close. Anyway, you get the idea. Hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. Add a like, subscribe, all that stuff. See you in the next one.